Happy Samhain 2014. This is Trevor Seven. I'm the creator of telekinesisschool.com and sacredsupplements.com. This will be Telekinesis Tutorial Part 5, my 5th and final TK tutorial, featuring enough occult wisdom, simple teachings, and ability-enhancing elixirs to bring out the magic in all of us. Hope you enjoy the video. Yeah, easy for me to say, but I think I have the goods to back it up. It's been an interesting past 7 months. I've spent a lot of time and money and effort researching some things, trying to unlock the keys to telekinesis for everybody. Because I can sit here and tell you all about it, but you know, nothing short of doing it yourself is going to help you believe or improve. So I did my research, and I met a lot of amazing people and talked to people all over the United States, as well as people in Canada and Hong Kong and all over the place, trying to get a handle on this, and I think I've got it. And I did a video of this, and it took 54 minutes for me to rattle off everything I needed to talk about. So I've made a website, sacredsupplements.com. As of right now, Telekinesis School, depending on when you watch this video, Telekinesis School is just a copy of How to Telekinesis right now, but that's soon to change. And sacredsupplements.com has a lot of the information that I'm just going to give you the broad strokes of here. I can't fit it all in one video, and that's part of the reason I built a website, so I could have all this stuff in one spot and you can just go check it out at your convenience. But it's got 18 pages full of information, tons of links, and 6 videos of mine that you'll only see at sacredsupplements.com, as well as some other videos that I found very important and very relevant to what I'm about to discuss with you, which is, drumroll please, it's something new that's really old. It's supernatural. It's the 5th state of matter. It's half mineral, half spirit. It's the platinum metals in an exotic state. It's called monoatomic gold, orms, white powder gold, muff cuts,
edible gold, liquid gold,
dry powder gold, philosopher's stone, elixir of life, food of the gods, semen of the gods, mana, shoe bread, in-state, high-state elements, liquid chi.
Ormis! Ormis! Oh my gosh, I've been dying to tell you guys about this. If you have ever wished for a magical potion that could awaken your psychic powers, Ormis is like a dream come true. I mean, it boosts TK like nothing I've ever encountered. And I actually tried this several years ago and didn't notice anything. But there's a deal to it. You have to find the right kind, and sometimes you have to take it for several weeks before it kicks in. But boy, when it does, shazam! Anyway, that's what I discovered when our ancestors knew the platinum elements that could heal and purify the mind, body, and spirit. And it gave them access to enlightenment and longevity and magical powers. And simply put, Ormis is the edible platinum metals like gold, iridium, and silver that have been alchemically extracted from a base material, most typically like gold or Dead Sea salts, and then they transform it into a monoatomic or high spin electron state, and it can be rendered into a gas, a liquid, or a powder. But the Egyptians used a dry powder form called muff cuts, and it can still be found inside the pyramids and today in Egypt right now. Anyway, based on my research and a low budget small scale experiment involving myself and a few volunteers, Ormis is a pretty safe, fast, and effective way to boost psychic abilities. And for energy practitioners, the results are usually like instantaneous. They take some and then, you know, an hour or so later and shazam. And for non-energy users and people with no known psychic abilities, it usually takes a few weeks before they begin to notice anything. Aside from lucid dreaming, the first and most common noticeable effect are usually improved mental clarity, emotional stability, and pain relief. Then after a while, the physical healing and the psychic abilities start to kick in. And results vary, and the experiment's still ongoing, but generally speaking, 60% of the users who had no telekinetic abilities prior to taking Ormis were able to perform low-level TK within the first few weeks. And by low level, I mean no hands from a couple feet away, you know, turning a side wheel or knocking over foil or something simple. And about half of the ones that couldn't do it were able to do it after they started employing one, some, or all of these other things I'm going to touch on briefly. The stuff is kind of weird because, like, the Ormis that works really good for me might not work for somebody else, and something that works really good for somebody else might not work for me. And I don't know exactly why that is, but you might have to shop around to find the right kind. Oh my gosh. There's just so much stuff about Ormis I want to say. Ormis exists naturally in our body. 5% of our brain and nervous system is made of these substances. So it's not something unnatural. It's really actually something natural that's being driven out of our bodies, basically from EMF. Just real quickly, I don't want to harp on this because nobody wants to hear it, but this is what I found just through my own experience and research. Cell phones, when you hold them up to your head for longer than 30 seconds, it breaks the blood-brain barrier, and it starts forcing the Ormis and the chi or prana or whatever word you want to use out of your body. And that's why a lot of people simply don't have the cell energy needed to do telekinesis. But the Ormis, when you take Ormis on a regular basis, you have to take it for a while because chugging a big bottle of it won't do it. It's just something you absorb slowly. But you take Ormis for a while and it makes up for that and it gives you back that subtle energy. But anyway, I want to go through a couple things. I just want to remind you I'm not a doctor and I can't, say this is FDA approved or anything. These are some of the most common effects of taking Ormis that people have reported, either myself or other people, or things that I've read other places. So Ormis has been known to activate and energize and synchronize the chakras, aka nervous system, increase cognitive function, coordination, stamina, and motor skills, decalcifies and rejuvenates the pineal gland. That is the big one right there, opening the third eye. And it does it as probably as good as anything you're going to find. Activates dormant brain cells and equalizes the two hemispheres of the brain. You can see videos on that on YouTube, and I've got links to that on my website. Amplifies the internal flow of chi and electricity and magnetism. Awakens dormant abilities such as telepathy and telekinesis. Enhances existing psychic abilities. Improves lucid dreaming, astral travel, remote viewing, out of body, all that stuff. Increases sensitivity, empathy, clairvoyance, and intuition. And by the way, when we're talking about this empathy, some of the good things about Ormis are also could be bad things depending on your lifestyle. For example, if you can watch a movie or witness in real life someone being beaten brutally or killed and not bat an eye or feel anything emotionally or whatever, you've been desensitized. And most of us have, just from watching TV and movies. But when you start taking Ormis, you start becoming empathic. And sometimes empathy is not necessarily a good thing, especially if you have an occupation where you have to, lie, cheat, steal, or be mean to people. You won't want to do that kind of thing because you start getting experience with that unity consciousness and higher levels of awareness and stuff. And it really changed you. So don't just go and take Ormis and think you're just going to do it so you can do telekinesis. You need to do some research before you start taking this stuff because it changes you. Okay, enables deeper, longer, and more beneficial meditations. I'll vouch for that. Promotes emotional stability, inner peace, self-confidence. It inspires creativity, wit, ingenuity, and originality. Detoxifies the body, repairs the DNA, and supports the immune system. Clears the complexion and reduces wrinkles, graying, and hair loss. It eliminates moles, warts, tags, funguses, and other conditions. Increases libido and fertility in both men and women. Restores damaged or missing teeth and nails. And if you do much research, you'll come across a story about a cat by the name of Tut that actually regrew a tail taking Ormis. Stuff is absolutely amazing. But anyway, for time purposes, I got to get on to these other things. Now, taking Ormis works, like I said, on about 70 to 80% of the people. And when it doesn't, it usually narrows down to reducing your EMF. That means getting away from your cell phones and your Wi-Fi. And by the way, a lot of people don't realize this, but you can just plug an Ethernet from your receiver to your computer and then call your internet provider and have them turn off the Wi-Fi option. And you can still have, you'll still have internet access and all that, and you won't be bombarded all day by EMF. Of course, if you use wireless devices, you won't be able to do that. But if you're just sitting at a home computer, get that Wi-Fi turned off. Okay, and the main thing I found, most of us are severely dehydrated. I mean, we don't drink enough water. And purified, charged water is what we need to be drinking. And I've got videos on my website how to restructure, how to get rid of fluoride, purify your water, charge your water. Okay, oxygen. One surefire way to power up your brain and activate your light body is to increase your oxygen intake. And I get most of mine through doing Qigong and stuff, but a lot of people don't want to do that. And there are a couple alternate ways you can do this. There's a gentleman by the name of Mr. McCabe, or aka Mr. Oxygen, at mroxygen.org, and he's got some stuff called OxyLift. It's just a liquid that you put into your water and it increases your oxygen intake. And you can also use an ozone generator to oxygenate water, and I've got a website on the tutorial section to show you how to do that, and that will drastically increase your oxygen. And a lot of times it's either the water or the oxygen that people need, and when it's not, a lot of times it's the grounding. Now on the video section, there's I think it's under the health section on the videos, there's a video called grounding, and I beg you to watch it, and it'll change your life. I've started using those sheets you plug in to get grounded with, and wow, I love it. I think you guys are gonna, it makes a lot of difference. But anyway, the Native Americans danced barefoot in the dirt for many reasons, and invoking earth magic and healing the body must have been right up there at the top of the list. I think it'll help you guys out a lot. But anyway, the earth is the best antioxidant known to man, and just 30 minutes of skin to earth contact can kill millions of free radicals and make you feel a ton better and help you with your TK. Okay, in meditation, I know a lot of people don't like to meditate or don't want to meditate, but I can't stress enough the importance of just some simple daily meditations. Stilling the body and quieting the mind for just a few moments every day will improve your health and boost your TK skills. Abstinence. Abstinence, not necessarily the abstinence of sex completely, but just refraining from having an orgasm. The human orgasm releases a tremendous amount of life force energy, and it takes several weeks or longer to regain that energy. So the theory is, if you save it for the full cycle of the moon, you'll have enough life force energy to perform magic and invoke altered states of consciousness and have like a Kundalini awakening experience. And I don't know, I'd save abstinence for last, but if you're batting zero, you might have to try that. And I mentioned the salt, and I can't tell you enough that the salt is very important to getting the right kind of salt in your system, because it's fire, it's all your electricity, and a lot of you don't have any of the electricity if you don't have the right salt in your system. Also, colloidal silver, and like I said, the ancient ancestors, they cherished and wore and consumed platinum elements to help them access the spiritual realms. I mean, they knew about the amazing cleansing and energizing properties of salt and platinum elements. So if we can consume the platinum elements, then like monatomic gold, aka Ormis, and drink just a small amount of colloidal silver to keep the real element within us daily, and use real salt, like I said, to detoxify and nourish our bodies. You can also get more salt in your system by using the drink Sole that I'll show you how to make on my website. All these things activate our chakras and help us access the spirit realm, or aka psychic powers. So all this stuff sounds trivial, but it's very, very important. So that's basically it. I mean, I've just barely scratched the surface, but I've mentioned all the topics, and the rest of it's on the website. And I created this website, sacredsupplements.com, for us. I mean, it's a place where we can go to buy or learn how to make Ormis, colloidal silver, and Sole, which are the 3 supplements that I found help the most. And the rest of the stuff I touched on briefly here is explained in full on the website, either in video or text or outer links. So please check them out. And I have links to tons of information about Ormis and a lot of Ormis suppliers. And if for a limited time, I have a supply of my own Ormis for sale if you live in the US and you want to try some of mine. And I don't want everybody to get their panties in a bunch and think this is a big get-rich scam or something. Ormis is the real deal. And I can't mass produce this stuff anyway. I only have, 2 or 3 dozen bottles available, and more than likely it's going to say sold out when you get there. But my intentions aren't to sell a bunch of this stuff and get rich. My intentions are to provide you with a safe and affordable way to learn about these supplements and sample them. And if you like them, please watch the videos, the tutorial videos, learn how to make them, and teach somebody else. That's the whole idea. We're trying to get everybody healthy and spiritually active. And based on what I've found, these are the top 3 supplements, and the 5 or 6 other things that I mentioned on the website, and the information about magic. And please watch the Magical Egypt video if you haven't. That thing has esoteric wisdom sprinkled in there, and that stuff is very important. And I don't have time to get into all that stuff, but it's all on the website. But if you're looking for the best way to enhance your telekinetic abilities, I have to say without a doubt, it's Ormis. But it requires some research, and it's not for everybody. But Ormis is probably the best kept secret I came across in all my research, and that's saying something, because I experimented with a lot of stuff. Anyway, I wanted to try to keep this under 20 minutes, and I'm getting really close to that already. So I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate you guys watching. This is Trevor7. Good day, God bless, and namaste.